Welcome to Comic Station, issue number 82 for July 23rd, 2014. And we're going to start off with one of our favorite characters.
Doctor Who, a new 11th Doctor episode. And we work out the sonic screwdrivers for this one. This first issue for the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, is really good. It's a self-contained story that introduces a new companion, and as those go, it's perfect for a comic book. Everything about it works to the pacing of a self-contained story of this size. There is a little stuff in the background setting up a larger story arc with a returning villain from the old series and a little bit from the new as well, but that doesn't get in the way, and it definitely is the one that goes the farthest to justify Matt Smith's character as the Doctor. It plays on his strength being silly and crazy and fun, and how well that can bounce off a companion, and how well it works for a character like the Doctor, who hasn't always been that way.
Yep. And continuing on, because especially I got a really good timing wearing my Rory Centurion shirt, is Doctor Who, the 10th Doctor. Amazingly, they put them both out on the same day, which you would think they would stagger, but either way, we're not complaining because it's more Doctor Who. And this one really goes on. It's not so much a self-contained. This really is more like the first half of a series, and it cuts as if the commercial break.
Yeah.
Or it, at a shorter American-sized television show, it would be the end of the episode. It really does a lot of setting up the assumed
new
future companion.
Yeah.
Unknown characters, all new. Sets up her life, her
situation.
Her family, and setting up a little bit of the mystery. However, it really does, in the form of a comic, unfortunately, it does drag a little bit, but that's because in the comic book you're looking for a little bit more contained and resolution.
It reminded me a lot of the very first Doctor adventure of the new series, Rose, in that there as well, the Doctor wasn't exactly the main character of the episode, but the companion was. And that was fine there because it's a TV show. Things move quicker, the Doctor can be interacted with much better. Here, the Doctor is still kept very much in the second fiddle position, but since
a little bit of the background.
Exactly. But since it's a comic book, you get far less of him for far more of the companion. And her scenes go a long way to establish what's really a very simple premise to get.
Yes. Sets up her conflict with her family and her expectations in the universe. Like, we haven't heard that from the companions before.
Yeah. Jumping right along here, we have a new comic from Marvel with Storm #1.
Ororo.
Yeah. It's a very good issue. It's a fun focus on Storm. Her powers are cool. The basic setup is having to do with her trying to bring humanitarian aid to her home, Africa, and a country there that she's working with hates mutants, and so they want her to leave. And it's basically just a conflict between her and the authorities. I like it because it shows someone with a philosophy outside of Xavier's beliefs that we just must make nice with humans to all levels, because Storm does go in to help the people of the country.
She tries to help, but she doesn't take anybody's guff.
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially when the people who are trying to kick her out aren't actually the government, but are just a hotel corporation who want to bulldoze a small village and make a hotel there. It's basically Avatar, but with Storm. But then again, it's Avatar. But with Storm, which is not a bad thing to be overall.
Not at all.
And it doesn't feel like they're trying to force her down the same road that Cyclops went. And the less said about that, the better.
And finally, because we like our independence, is IDW's Ragnarok. And for having Thor on the cover, it really doesn't have much of him.
I know.
It really sets up a lot of a Dark Elf assassin is hired by a mysterious stranger to kill a dead god. How do you kill a dead god? How you do it, why would you do it, we don't know, but the doorway is blocked by a hammer. So take your guesses there.
This prequel comic to the new female Thor is weirder than I thought it would be.
Yes, very weird. Yeah. But I wanted to do it mostly just because we wanted to bring up the female Thor again.
Yeah.
And
which I think would lead nicely into another change Marvel has brought up, the new Captain America, which is me! No, actually, it's the Falcon.
Which is cool. I like that.
I am definitely in favor of that, even if it does strike me a little bit of we're doing this because Chris Evans doesn't want to make another Captain America movie after the third one.
Although I like the idea of Bucky, but that's traditional. But
that's true.
So they're mixing the little television world into it.
Oh, yeah.
And finally, for our reviews this week.
Yep, ones we want to give some shout-outs to here. We have a review of a local Philadelphia graphic novel comic called Last West.
This was kickstarted, and we saw it at the Philadelphia Comic-Con.
My review of it went up last week, but you can still find it on the main page. Don't gotta go hunting through links or anything. It's a really weird and imaginative sci-fi concept. It's worth your time to look into, and I think I gave a pretty solid review of it for you to if you want to read it or not.
Yeah, I agreed with it, and it definitely, I can't wait for Volume 2 to expand upon it.
There.
But in itself, it was a decently self-contained story.
Also, this week we have reviews of Realm War Age of Darkness #1 from our good friends at Zenoscope, their new big event comic, which really is reshaping everything about the Zenoscope
I love
universe.
their events.
Yeah, like their events have been top-notch across the board, and this is no exception.
Some of their titles are a little hit or miss here and there, but they do a great job of tying their events together. And, of course, we also have Supreme Blue Rose, which I was excited for because if you know the old comics, Supreme, that's what I was aiming for, but it sounds like that didn't really kick it off.
Supreme isn't in this. It's just about Diana Dane, the Lois Lane analog. Who would have guessed it? The biggest problem with it is that it's too diffuse, too long, a problem Warren Ellis has a lot with his storytelling. The characters are barely established and takes a whole comic to say what I can say in a second. It's about an investigative reporter looking into phenomena in a superhero universe. The worst of all, the artwork is terrible with blue scribblings over the pages, meant to be artistic, but it comes off like a kindergartner stole your comic before you got a chance to read it.
So despite just that last second of review, still go read it on frontdoorsgamer.com. But that pretty much summed it up.
Trust me, like, I'm even more angry and sarcastic in the review.
Yeah, that's a surprise. And finally, for the television news, for the review, you're continuing with The Strain episode #2?
Yep, I've been reviewing The Strain on the site. I have the review, the second episode, The Box, up right now. What did I think of that one? I'm not going to give it away here, like I just did with that last comic.
Yeah, way to give away.
Yeah.
And this is our episode for issue number 82 for Comic Station, but we're also going to be shooting, and stay tuned for a little bit of the pre-San Diego Comic-Con, because even though San Diego Comic-Con hasn't started yet, there's still so much news coming out. We decided to do a pre.
Like every day I'm getting like 5 emails from people who are going to be there.
Only 5?
Yeah.
It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, so we're doing a little pre-San Diego, and then at the end we're going to do a little roundup as well. So stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching Comic Station issue number 82 for July 23rd, 2014, and we will see you next week.
Yep.
Bye.